Joining us in the studio is Mr. N.K. Singh, senior journalist, who will throw light on the Prime Minister's address. First of all, I mean, it is a day of the victory of good over evil, and we know that the greatest evil that we are facing currently is terrorism. So the Prime Minister could not have been more clear in his message. What do you say?
Yeah, it was ample, loud and clear. And the message has three phases. First phase is to isolate Pakistan from entire world. Now today Pakistan stands conspicuously isolated from entire world because of terrorism.
Right.
Now second was his appeal to Pakistani masses that let us fight poverty. Let us have a fight against poverty rather than have a territorial fight.
Yes.
With guns.
Yes.
Let us fight poverty. That was a subtle message to the Pakistani people to rise against the terrorism.
Okay.
Rise against the powers that be if they are supporting terrorism. This was second phase. Third phase is today, and that is a clear-cut message to those harboring terrorism, irrespective of what community they belong to. So this message was loud and clear that terrorism cannot be countenanced, should not be countenanced by any section, social, or maybe a small portion of a particular community. Right. So it was very loud and clear, and that precisely is the reason why this place was chosen. Fortunately, I was brought up in that area.
I see. Good.
I have played in that that ground.
I see.
In my childhood.
Okay.
So I know there is a mosque is standing conspicuously in that ground, and abutting that there is a very huge ground where it has been taking place for the past 400 years.
Yes.
You can understand the significance of this.
Yes.
And that is where Prime Minister has chosen to deliver his speech. It was very categorical and very potent.
Sure.
That now in India, we should ensure that terrorism is not countenanced, that it is not harbored, and there is no haven for terrorism in this country. And that message goes down that, where it, I mean, it has headed home.
Absolutely.
To the person, to the people it was intended for.
So let's take it further from that. What does it imply then? That the fight against terrorism is going to continue with great force?
Yeah.
That under this government, the army has the freedom to fight terrorism.
Actually, it's not only army. Terrorism has two
the security
phases.
Forces also.
One is from across the world.
They've been given the courage to do it.
Yes. Because Indian terrorism has three phases.
Yes.
One is from, it is intelligence jargon, it is known as PTPM, Pak Trained Pak Militant.
Okay.
That is over now. Pak Trained Indian Militant, that is almost on the wane. This is module system, and module system can be countered only when Prime Minister, I mean this appeal, where country's entire populace is up against this menace. And that is what today's message was.
Right.
That you should rise against, irrespective of what community, what denomination you come from. You have to fight it from within.
Yes.
And that is where this today's message matters a lot.
Right. So the whole country has to stand in one, stand as one against terrorism. But the Prime Minister also spoke about other important messages which are evils within. For instance, he's talked about
social evil.
The social evils, yes. Casteism, nepotism, corruption, whatever. He mentioned them all. Yes.
You will realize one thing. He is the only leader I have come across, although on occasions I criticize some of the government's policies or the policies that is being pursued and which are not being carried to the right earnest, in the right earnest. But one thing is very palpable, and that is, in this country there is a very clear message that we will neither we will have a zero tolerance against corruption, zero tolerance against terrorism, and the fervor of nationalism, although it is slightly more emotional. It doesn't have the required quantity of rationality. Sometimes it goes up to drawing room outrage.
Yes.
But still, I would say that there is a collective consciousness whose quality is altogether different.
Okay.
So now I can say that India is changing, and today's message is loud and clear. it's not only terrorism.
Right.
State will look into that.
Sure.
But for given to you, society should change itself and should get rid of the social evil that they had been harboring all these years.
So this is a call to change from within to every single person.
Every dimension of human.
Every single person.
Yeah, human
But
activities.
we also understand that today is the International Day of the Girl Child, and the Prime Minister also
He referred
alluded
to
to
that
that. He
also.
referred to that, and that's also an important
And
aspect.
it made a very fervent appeal
Absolutely.
to carry it out. So
Yes.
that was also there for children. And then he said the way girls have done it this time in sports, that is praiseworthy. So therefore, Beti Bachao, and not only Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and make them excel in the world at national and world level.
Right.
So that is also a message which was given. So I think it is more of a, today's message has a more of a social content.
Okay.
And nationalism, no denying this fact. And same is the case with the address of Nagpur at Nagpur by RSS chief.
Right.
RSS chief has also endorsed the way government has conducted itself so far as surgical strike is concerned.
Right.
He endorsed that, but there was a caution. He said, no, Gaur Raksha should not be equated with the rowdy elements or the lumpens.
Sure.
That was a message he gave.
Sure.
But he was fully in agreement with the government's policies, government's surgical strike, and then taking on Pakistan,
Right.
head on rather. So I mean, he endorsed that.
Absolutely.
That shows that in the days to come, we will have a very strong portion of a very strong content of nationalism, which
Okay.
will be positive nationalism.
Sure.
I mean, this is what
That's
I
right.
could get.
And since you did mention Mr. Mohan Bhagawat's address as well, the content from there about the concerns about casteism, and also the fact that he says that even the Gau Sevaks should function within the ambit of the law, even though the constitution provides for safeguarding the cow.
Yeah, because some of
he
the
did talk,
elements.
because of some of the elements, and then
Yeah,
the
that is-
aspect has to be related also to the Dalits, which is what he had done.
And that is a major concern.
Yes.
Because there will be an element of social harmony if we don't contain it. We don't tame this kind of feeling.
Yes.
So that message was given loud and clear from the Nagpur, and
Right.
the RSS chief has said so, and even Modi ji has.
Right.
I mean, the way casteism is to the detriment of entire society's development.
Sure.
That was Prime Minister has also said this,
Right.
and Mohan Bhagwat ji has also said it. I think both in unison, if you see, juxtapose both the speeches, there was a very distinct, clear message. And I think that message has nothing that is known as politics.
Okay.
It was clear a social message, and it had headed home to where it was intended.
We leave it there. Thank you very much, Mr. N.K.
Thank you,
Singh,
Mark.
for joining us here on News Night.